Minister, there's a number of references in the budget documents to savings that were affected since February, reductions and things like that. There's a couple of references in passing to global savings on things like discretionary grants and some kinds of programs which were discretionary. But I've been through the stuff. I can't figure out where that's coming from on a line-by-line basis. It's not apparent going through the documents which programs and which grant programs and that are being underfunded or defunded or cut, whatever you want to say. And I'm just sort of wondering, was it a policy decision on your part to leave that out of the budget document? Because I would have thought a chart of all that would have been helpful in understanding what's been happening.
Well, those are across all ministries. So every ministry was given targets in terms of what they had to realize in terms of reduction in both the STOB 77 and STOB 80, which are the two STOBs used for discretionary grants. And they were given targets that they had to achieve. So we have actually gone through, in addition to mandating reductions in things like travel expenditures and the use of outside professional services across all ministries, we have also given targets of reductions in terms of discretionary grants. All of the discretionary grants were identified from all ministries, and quite literally they were gone through sort of one by one and decisions made whether or not those are things that should be continued or were of a nature that we would have to make the tough decision not to fund certain things on a going forward basis. So,
what I'm looking for is a list. If the government announces it's giving $1 million to a new program, we get a press release. If it takes away $1 million, I'd like to see the list.
Well, if you go into the supplement to the estimates, you will see the breakdown of all of the STOBs by ministries. So in many cases, these are not grants that had been announced. In many cases, these were discretionary, they were budgets for discretionary grants that had been built into ministry budgets for which decisions had not been made or announcements had not been made. And we went through, first thing we did actually early in the year at the time of the February budget is say those are frozen. And but to say that, you know, are these like, I can't come up with a list of things that we might have approved had we not removed those budget allocations. So in the supplement to the estimates, you can see where each of those STOBs have been reduced ministry by ministry across the entire government.
But if the government gave them $1 million last year and it isn't giving them $1 million this year, doesn't that warrant an announcement? Instead of just saying, well, it's a global figure.
Well, it actually, that does come out in public accounts, and it'll be reflected in public accounts in terms of what organizations get what funding.
Sorry.
Well, I'm saying that in terms of all of the 09-10 grants, you know, organizations have now been advised, the freeze is off, and ministries have now, I think, informed recipient organizations of what they can expect for this year. So that information is out there. But is there a comprehensive list, organization by organization, that adds up to $1.9 billion and how much is being saved on this travel budget or that travel budget? No, but it is reflected in the supplement to the estimates.